and welcome back to my channel. I am doing another makeup declutter. I'm actually trying to go through my blushes, my highlights, and my bronzers and contours in this one. And we're just going to see what I'm going to go ahead and get rid of. Some things from past declutters have made it back into my hands just because I give people a big bucket. It comes back to me, and somehow I go, oh, maybe I'll use that. It's not always the case. So we're going to go through and see what I'm going to keep, see what I'm going to get, see what I'm going to declutter. Not get. I don't know what I'm saying. So the first thing here is this Be Limitless Blush Kit by Real Her. I think I've used this maybe once. I've only used Limitless here in the middle, and in all honesty, I'm going to declutter this. I never reach for it. It's just going to sit there, so this is going to get decluttered. Then we have this Pure Cosmetics Bronze and Brighten. And this is kind of a highlight, blush, and bronzer duo. I am going to keep this. I do love the highlighter. I really like the blush. I have not used the bronzer much, but if I don't use it as a bronzer, I will probably use it as a eyeshadow. So we're going to keep that one. Then I have this Kokie Cosmetics Blush Up. What those look like. I really like these blushes. I more use these two than the super light one. The super light one is more of a highlight than a blush. But I'm going to keep that. Then I have this one here. I'm actually going to get rid of this. This is by Santee. It's the Blush Me. I used to use this as hair cover up when my roots were pink. I don't really reach for it any other way, and I've hit pan on it. I'm satisfied where I've gotten with it, so that is going to go. Next up, we have this Super BB Physicians Formula. This I've had for a while. As you can see, nothing's happened to it. I think I've decluttered it. I'm going to go ahead and declutter it again and get this out of my collection. I am not going to use it. I have no desire to use it. It needs to go. Then I have this Pacifica Blush Duo. I've used this a couple of times. I've tried to make myself reach for it. I don't really reach for it, so I do think I'm going to go ahead and pass this on. Then we have this Pretty Vulgar blush that I just got. I absolutely love this color, and I have only tried it maybe once, and so I want to keep it in my collection. Then I have this Malibu Glitz blush. I keep it because I think I like the flower, and that's why I keep it, but I'm going to go ahead and pass this on to maybe a friend or a family member who might get some use out of it. Then we have my Medusa's Makeup Blush. This is in Georgia Peach. I really like this blush a lot. It is one of my favorite. It does have a slight shimmer to it, but I really enjoy this blush, and it is one of my favorite Medusa's makeup products. Then I have these two Tarte blushes. This one is in Feisty, and this one is in Party, and I want to pick one to maybe keep and try and pan, and I think I'm actually going to keep Party. I'm going to keep this one, and I'm going to pass along Feisty. Then I have these Wet n Wild Color Icon Ombre blushes. This one is in Princess Daiquiris. The thing about these, this one is just too light for me, so I think I'm going to go ahead and pass it along. I like more of a vibrant blush, but I am going to keep in a Purple Haze because I like to use this as kind of a blush topper over things. It gives a nice sheen, and especially if I'm doing a very different look or pairing it with a very different highlighter. Then we have this Studio Makeup Loose Luminous Blush. I actually really like this blush a lot. It is a blush that I will use. It is a blush that is going to last a while because you only need a little bit. The final two items here are items that you know I'm keeping. This is the e.l.f. blush palette in light, and I'm keeping this, as you know, I'm trying to pan this one right here. And then my Milani blush in Tea Rose. Definitely keeping this one, making some progress on this guy. Up next are my bronzers and contours. I'm definitely keeping the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I've had to repress this thing so many times, and I just want to use it up. We're keeping that guy. I'm definitely keeping the Too Faced sample of the Chocolate Soleil bronzer that was sent to me. I'm getting some use out of this. I have to use a really light hand because this is the medium to deep one that was sent to me, but I am enjoying the overall formula and the blendability of it. Then we have the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Contouring Palette, which was sent to me by Raven, I believe. I have not gotten to try this. I sanitized it, and that's about it, but I have not tried it yet. So I'm going to keep that in my collection. And of course, I'm going to keep the Kat Von D Shade in Light palette, contouring palette here in my collection. I am trying to pan this, so I want to keep it in my collection. The only thing I'm going to go ahead and declutter from my collection is this Profusion Studio Contour Palette. This used to be my go-to contour palette when I first started getting into makeup, and I'm not really reaching for or using it anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and pass it along. Up next are all of my highlighters, or things that I use as highlighters. So we're going to start off with these ColourPop Super Shock Cheek Shadows in Spoon and Stole the Show. I used to get a lot of use out of these, but I don't really use them anymore. And then here is Spoon. Spoon is very glittery. It's very pretty, but I think I'm going to go ahead and pass these along to a friend who might get some use out of them. Next up is this Pixie by Petra, and this is a blush, but it is so shimmery. I don't know if you guys can see that on my finger. I actually prefer to use this as a highlight versus a blush, and I think I've used it once, and I'm going to go ahead and pass it along. I don't really reach for it. Then next is this Medusa's Makeup Totally Baked Eyeshadow in Bitten, and you guys can see that I have definitely gotten some use out of this. I am going to keep this in my collection. I love to use this as a highlight. I love to use it as a brow bone highlight. I love to use it as an inner corner highlight. It just works really well for me. Next here is this loose eyeshadow from the Checkered Lily Apothecary in Romance. It is not eyeshadow, it's a highlighter. I don't know what I'm saying, but it is very pretty. I just don't reach for it. I don't like loose highlights. I feel like I just make a mess with them, so I am going to pass this along. There's nothing wrong with this. It is a beautiful highlighter when used correctly, but for me, I struggle with it, so I'm going to pass that along. Now we have the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Illuminating Palette. I've used this. You guys can kind of see there's a dip in it. I think at some point I decluttered it and it came back to me. So I'm going to go ahead and pass this along and try and get rid of it and tell my friends, please don't give me the box back until it's completely empty, because I don't want this back in my collection. The next thing here is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder in Precious Petals. I am definitely keeping this. I absolutely enjoy this highlighting formula, so I'm going to keep that for sure. Then I have these AOA Studio Wonder Highlighters. These are so similar. This one is in Fairy. Yeah, they're both kind of gold highlights, and this one is in Bon Bon. See how similar they are? I think I'm actually going to keep Bon Bon because it's slightly less gold, and I'm going to pass along Fairy. Then I have my Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Prosecco Pop. I am definitely keeping this beauty It is a staple in my collection. I do reach for it quite often, so I'm going to keep that one. Then I have my Stila Heaven 2 highlighter in Kitten that I'm trying to pan this year. Yeah, it's kind of a mess. My brush has been right here the whole time anytime I use it. My fingers have gotten into it. I push it down every time, but I really enjoy this highlighter. I think it's a lot of fun. I think it is beautiful. You can make it look really natural, or you can make yourself look like you're glowing to the gods. So it's a fun highlight. Next is my Aurora Glow Kit by Anastasia Beverly Hills. So, fun fact, I recently did pass along my Moonchild Glow Kit. I never used it. I use this one way more. I think the colors work better. I like to use this as inner corner highlights, brow bone highlights. Sometimes I'll use it as a general highlight. It just depends on the look I'm going for. But I'm going to keep that. And of course, I'm going to keep my BH Cosmetics Backlight Highlight Palette. I absolutely love this. I use this one more for inner corner highlights and things as well. It's just a lot of fun. It has a lot of fun, unique shifting highlights that others don't have. And of course, I'm going to keep my BH Cosmetics Spotlight Highlight Palette. It is a staple in my collection. I highly recommend, if you have not tried this palette, to try it. It is a favorite of mine. As you can see, it has gotten some use. And as you know, I'm trying to pan Ethereal and Vivid right now. And both have dips in their pan. So I'm going to go ahead and count the items I'm getting rid of. And yeah, let's see what I ended up doing. Well, it looks like I'm passing along 14 items. And then I am keeping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 items are what I am keeping. I'm pretty happy with getting rid of 14 items out of my collection that I just don't feel a need to keep. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I do really hope that you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe if you have not already. It does mean the world to me. Thanks again, and bye!